Hey viewers, welcome back to TL Overlander. We've been having some really nice summer-like weather here in southern Ontario, so I've been taking advantage of some of the maintenance and prep on the Bronco. Last weekend I was out doing the first tire rotation of the spring on the Bad Mule and going over a checklist of things I need to get done before the northern Quebec trip. One of the main things on my checklist for sure for this upcoming trip is an option for extra fuel. Us two-door Bronco owners know all too well the short legs of the truck, especially aired down and loaded up and crawling around off-road. It's not the greatest. The Swisha Loop has a gas up at the far north end and one of the most remote legs, and my planning shows it may be a stretch making it there on a full tank of gas. If for whatever reason I come across an especially difficult obstacle, an impassable washout that requires me to backtrack, or I just plain miscalculate the range of that leg, having a carry-on spare 20 liters of gas with me can make all the difference. Running low on gas is no joke, especially while traveling off-road out in the wilds. Will, over at Venture to Roam, has a great multi-episode series where he realized some off-road range anxiety in his Jeep on a trip he did on the back road discovery route in Idaho. Unbeknownst to him and his travel group, one of their planned gas stops was rationing out just 2 gallons of pricey fuel per vehicle. However, in this particular episode, Will managed to sweet talk the attendant into giving him 4 gallons of gas, which I'm sure helped alleviate his worries. But maybe he overplayed his range anxiety a bit in this video. In a subsequent episode, one in which he goes shopping for a new rig, for which I try to convince him to go for a Bronco, he fell in love with a thirsty 392 Hemi Wrangler Extreme Rubicon Edition. I'll be looking forward to the episode where he modifies his Jeep into a giant Rotopax mobile. My goal all along was fashionably mounting a can to the back of the tailgate, but only until recently has an aftermarket mount solution begun showing up, such as this nice RTR setup. However, the Lonely Overlander is also the cheap-ass Overlander, and at $400 US just for the holder, and however much for the back-ordered tailgate support and adjustable tailgate stop, that just wasn't happening. Last year at the first annual Bronco Stampede, me and my rig won Best in Show, and with the winnings I went out and bought the Rough Country tailgate support and Motobilt jerry can holder. Both episodes are in the channel library. From the get-go, with the help from my friend Dino and his channel, Dino's Tinker Shed, the plan was doing a custom mount on the Rough Country tailgate support instead of going with an off-the-shelf aftermarket solution. Dino and I are a lot alike in this regard, believing that a custom do-it-yourself option is almost always the best way to do it. You get an exclusive, cheaper, and usually more functional solution than what can be bought, such as my custom load floor we put together last year, for example. Well, Dino has been really busy this spring doing some second career training and upgrading. He's been fortunate enough over the last couple of years to be able to focus full-time on his channel, by no choice of his own, of course, and has done really well at it. But now he's focusing on transitioning into a new career, and I know he's just going to be successful at it. So then, well, I decided to take a hard look at doing this custom mount myself and see if I can find the right solution for my setup. So let's go have a look now. A quick layup of the holder to the tailgate support, and you can see there's enough space there to secure it with some drilling and tapping into the tailgate support. Opening the tailgate to 90 degrees, however, shows the limitations and risks of mounting a gas can back there. Also, with the tailgate limited to just 90 degrees and not fully swinging open because of the risk of smashing the pricey taillight, it also really tightens up the rear access space, especially with the tailgate table down and in use. Being able to fully open the tailgate is definitely a plus. So with that not being the ideal setup for me, I guess my plan B is mounting the whole thing to the Valkyrie roof rack. Even with my compact foothill rooftop tent and cargo basket up there, there's still plenty of space for extra accessories. Doing a quick test fit, it seems like this would be an ideal spot. From there, it's simply a matter of dropping in some T-nuts into the crossbars and bolting it down with some 1/4-20 stainless hardware. The extruded aluminum crossbars really offer a lot of configurability to a setup. I have some plans in the works for undermounting a slide-out 100-watt solar panel to the back of the rack as well, so watch for that episode to drop. Like I mentioned, physically I have the space up there, but of course there's the issue of weight loading on the roof and the rack. A full 20-liter can of gas up there adds quite a bit additional weight. For static limits, I'm pretty sure I'm still fine. It's a dynamic loading that I'm worried about. Worst case, I have room in the back of the Bronco. I could throw one of my plano boxes in there to help alleviate some of the weight concerns. It basically boils down to overloading the roof or overloading the tailgate hinges. Ford, if you're watching this, don't watch this. If I wanted to get really irresponsible, Motobilt also offers a dual side-by-side 20-liter gas can mount, and I physically have the space up there for a setup like that. But I think 5 gallons is more than enough for this travel season. So there you have it, my current auxiliary fuel carrying solution. With my trip fast approaching, I'm glad I have this job checked off my list of the things I need to do. I would really like the opportunity to test it out, all fully loaded up, and make sure I'm not going to leave myself stranded 1,500 kilometers from home with a catastrophic roof failure. If I do manage to have my Bronco roof break in half and fall to the ground, I guess it'll make for a compelling travel episode. So as of right now, I'm just waiting for some hardware to arrive to finish my solar panel project, and I think then I'll be all ready to venture out. If you've been paying attention to the Canadian news this week, you're probably well aware of the out-of-control wildfires burning in Alberta and the Maritimes, and now some fires burning in northern Ontario up near Wawa and Algoma. So it's no surprise that a total fire ban has been declared for most of the province. It really has been unusually hot and dry so early this year. So a total fire ban could make my trip a little interesting. Anyway, for now, thanks for watching, and if you're not already subscribed, simply click the watermark symbol in the bottom corner of the screen and you're all set. We'll catch you next time here on The Lonely Overlander.